Hello, sir. Hey, guys, I just wanted to come to you. I was thinking about our 201 Club and the market. Every week we do a real estate, we look at the real estate market and come back to you with a couple things. This week I realized that we have listings sitting underneath our feet. And I'm going to give you a quick story that illustrates it. My dad's 92 years old. He's perfectly healthy, thank God. Me and Pat have long-lived dads, so we're very thankful for that. But we're trying to convince him, hey, Dad, why don't you move closer to one of your 5 kids? Why don't you sell the big house? And what he keeps telling us is, hey, I haven't lived in an apartment since 1960 or 1950. So he thinks he's going to hear the neighbors through the walls. And so what I have to do when I go back is in order to free up this listing, to put it in our terms, I have to start taking him to some open houses of condos and smaller homes so that he can see that what he's looking at isn't a 1950s walk-up 3 floors apartment when he was in his whatever 20s or whatever, because that's his last reference. Now, where am I going with this and how does this apply to you? I want everyone to take a moment and just think about it for just one moment. Who do you know who's in a house that doesn't fit their current needs? What do I mean by that? Who do you know who's in a house that has 4 bedrooms, but there are only 2 people in the house? Who do you know who's still in the house that they raised their 2, 3, or 4 kids in, and they're still sitting in that house, but now they're at retirement age? If we start to think about it like that, we actually know a lot of people. Heck, I know Emmerich and Pat. I'm going to call Emmerich right now when we get off the phone and try and convince him to sell his house because it's just 2 people living in his house. And so I say that as a joke, but what do I mean by that? We need to start having conversations where we're pre-selling the people on the ideal of their next phase of life. That's how I sold my house. I sold my house because I was going to keep it, just keep it, until a friend of mine said, why are you keeping it? And I thought for a minute and I thought, you're right, why not sell it? But the point is, we have to start. So if Emmerich was my friend, I'd have to start talking to him about, hey, I see you guys have this big house. What's the next phase? What's retirement look like? Where do you want to live? Do you want to stay here? Do you want to move closer to where your family's from? Do you want to be on the water? What is it that you're looking for? What are the expenses that are associated with holding this house that doesn't fit your current family size? Once you start getting into that, you then have to start showing them what they could be living in for the same amount of money. So when I fly home to see my dad, I'm literally going to have to secretly start showing him condos and say, hey, Dad, I'm going over to look at an investment. Come with me, just so that he can start looking at what his life could look like in something different. The problem we have with the listings and the problem we have with the market across the country is we have a lot of people who are just sitting in their listings because it's the devil they know. And they're sitting wondering, saying, oh my God, interest rates are high. Interest rates are high depending on when you got in the market. So if someone had approached me and said interest rates are high, guess what? Interest rates are exactly where they were 25 years ago when I bought my house. So if I sold my house today, the counter argument would be, you're in the exact same position when you made the decision the last time. We have to start configuring our discussion, but we also have to start having a preliminary discussion with people. And here's the best part. We're moving into the holiday season. You are going to get 4 opportunities to have this discussion with people, a minimum. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. At each of these points in time, people are going to be telling you what their plans are. Hey, we gotten pregnant. Hey, we're thinking about retiring. Hey, I'm getting tired of working. Hey, we're thinking about getting married. Hey, we're thinking about getting divorced. Now's the time to start asking them about their current their housing situation, and seeing what their desired situation is. I'm betting money that if we start having these conversations with people, you're going to uncover some needs and some wants that people are going to tell you that you can then start feeding on a drip campaign through the smart plan. And so as you go into the holidays, start looking around as you're visiting people, as you're talking to people, and start sizing them up with the current house they're in. As an example, if you knew me and Emmerich, and we weren't in the business, obviously, and you were visiting us, you would see that we're in houses that we no longer need. We bought them when our children were young. We raised our children. Thank God our children are gone. And now we have these houses that are potential listings for you, that if you could tap into what the underlying need is moving forward, you might be able to get a listing out of it. And then the last part of it is, the last sales pitch is, tell them to sell the house before their adult children move back in the house. If that's not, if their dream of where they want to go, you know, people are motivated by pain and pleasure. If the pleasure of moving to the waterfront and having a beautiful condo at National Harbor isn't enough, then start talking to them about the nightmare of all of their adult children coming back and moving in with their dogs, their girlfriends, their children, and everything else. So it's one or the other, but we have to start pre-selling. If you're having an open house, invite your friends that already have a house. Just say, hey, come over and take a look at this. If you're going to see a new neighborhood, a new model home, start inviting people who already own a home and say, hey, just for retirement purposes, I thought of you. Come on over here and join me. I'll take you to lunch, take you to get a cup of coffee. With that, I turn it back over to you, Jamal, but we got to start pre-selling people on their next phase in order to free up these listings.
Leadership and training is not everything. It's the only thing. I've never met anyone who succeeded by trying, but we are surrounded by agents who are succeeding by training. Everybody knows you're a product of your environment. Are you in the right environment to support your success? Well, here at Keller Williams Preferred Properties, we provide the support, the training, and the knowledge to grow your real estate business. So join us today. And remember, it's always a great day at Keller Williams.